I want to share something that has inspired me recently. Since I've been working from home, I have not felt very creative. I actually find it very hard to work from home because I'm so distracted by the things I want to do in my house. That's why we're here in my garage, because I love to fix things. I love to build things and make things here at my house. But last week I had a little epiphany and I actually felt creatively inspired. It came from this. I was so inspired by the fact that a gigantic company like Ford could pivot in a week and make something completely different. When you think of the size of that company, even the smallest change could be very difficult to put into effect. Yes, you can say the president mandated companies to do this, and yes, there are very specific needs due to the crisis. However, Ford did this on their own, and what was inspiring to me was the fact that they did it, and not that they were forced to do it. It made me think about our companies, and if we would be able to pivot like this, so quickly and on such a large scale. I believe there were three main components that made the Ford pivot successful, and they're very interesting to consider for ourselves. Number one, it started from the top. It takes top leadership to open up the path to change. I think there are amazing ideas at every level of our organizations, and on every desk, someone has the thought of something they want to do outside their traditional briefs. But only when there is a clear path to put out new ideas, with no one second guessing what they're for or why, will they have a chance to see the light of day. Grassroots change doesn't occur naturally in companies. So if the top leadership is afraid of change or happy with the status quo, then nothing will happen. Number two, it embraced partners from sectors with different experience. Ford knew it had manufacturing capability and deep supply chain relationships, but it was not about to try to design its own ventilator. It partnered with GE Healthcare, and then they found a small manufacturer in Florida who had a cheaper and easier ventilator to make. The three partners were crucial to making a difference. We aren't that great at partnering. We tend to try to build from within so we can just be a one-stop shop. Does that make our ability to change slower? And do we miss out working with partners who are best in class of new technologies? Number three, it did not try to monetize. All the partners knew that they were not going to try to make a profit. However, Ford was clear that it wanted to cover its cost, and by being able to use its existing workforce and facilities, the benefit was clear. It offered full transparency of all costs to make sure that everyone felt comfortable moving forward. I think the important lesson here is that you have to try things that you won't make a profit on. If you can look at something as an investment or focus on how you cover costs, you free yourself of the burden to make it profitable before you really can make it great. I think sometimes we look at pro bono work as an investment, but it's really not. It's an investment in a cause, but it's rarely an investment in new ways of creative communication. Why is change and an ability to pivot important? Overall, as creative storytellers, marketing has been the quickest to turn around IP, big ideas, and high-end content in all entertainment areas. We move at a pace that is very rare in Hollywood. We are also constantly talking about how the business is changing, looking at the new platforms, predicting the demise of old ones. We are constantly talking about this. However, as an industry, we are more reactive than proactive. We wait to see if something's going to get traction, and then when it does start to show promise, we scramble to find ways to jump on board. For example, Quibi has just launched a platform of short-form mobile content. Do they know what advertising on the platform will look like? No. Do they care? Not right now. They're investing over $1 billion just to entertain people on their phones.
To enhance the music is to take what we're hearing sonically and turn it into something tangible.
Do we know what advertising will look like on Quibi's platform? No. We will wait until it's successful and then try to figure out how to get in with them. But when you think about it, who's more set up to write entertaining short-form content than we are? No one. We have the best creative minds in the short-form space. How many times have you seen a script that was supposed to be a 30-second piece, but it was really a great 2 or 3 minute story? Quibi is banking on the fact that viewers will become engaged with shows under 10 minutes. What's the benefit of generating ideas for nothing? Why start coming up with ideas before a platform is successful? I think the exercise of developing ideas for any type of distribution is extremely valuable. Not just Quibi, look at Instagram, Twitch, all of the streaming platforms popping up on a daily basis. Think of creating your own development slate. Find partners who you want to develop ideas with, not just because you're hiring them, but because you want to try to do new things together and you can use each other to make them better. Create a space where people can share any ideas. You know there are going to be great things that come out of that. We have a filmmaker who was an assistant on one of our producers' desks a month before she won an Oscar for a documentary short. We know that everyone in our company has ideas. It's our job to figure out how to support them. So let's make stuff. By challenging ourselves to work in new spaces, I believe we exercise our creative potential individually and within our companies in the strongest way. Let's get out in front of new opportunities instead of waiting to be forced to pivot in a different direction.